What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Season 3, Episode 9 of Hit the Books, podcast all about sports betting, the bets you should be taking, and everything surrounding sports. This week, we're here, week 8 of the NFL season. I'm ready for it. I know they are. So much to look forward to this week after a rough week across the board here for the show. Just not a solid week in the NFL, but a new week of winning football. NBA season started this week as well on Tuesday. World Series coming up here this weekend. Our picks on that, NHL, college football, and more in this week's episode here. Week 8. I'm ready to jump right into this week's episode. Introduce my co-hosts, Huff, Ace, and Mackie, the boys that join me each and every week. Mackie, why don't we start off with you this week? Another week here. Not a great week last week, but what do you got for us?
Yeah, I think I'm coming off my worst week in the 3 seasons that we've been doing this. 1-6 last week.
Get it out of the way. Just get it out of the way.
0-4 on the Sunday 1:00 slate, which was terrible. But only up from here, so I'm sitting pretty low, -7 units on the season. But just got to bounce back next week. Cowboys are back this week. That's my good mojo. That's why I did bad this week, because the Cowboys were off, so I was off. But yeah, not much else going on. What's going on with you guys?
That's fair. Ace, let's shoot over to you here next. Little computer problems for you today, but we made it happen. You're here. Nothing else from me. What do you got?
Yeah, life or death with the Mac Pro here today, but we got it rocking, so we'll be good to go. But yeah, no, all the seasons are underway now with the NBA tipping off last night. Got the Bruins out to a hot start, just like last year. Who saw that coming? Probably me. Other than that, decent week not good week on the card. It was good until Monday Night Football. Back-to-back weeks, Monday Night Football really doing me in. You hate to see it. So maybe we'll reevaluate our strategy there. But still positive on the season, so looking forward to talking about all these games and leagues today.
Good stuff. 16 games here this week. Huff, finish it off for us here. What do you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, not much else going on with me. The guys said it, a lot going on in the sports world, a lot to talk about, so I'm just excited to get into it. I really like the slate in the NFL this week, but coming off a bad week myself, it's take that for what it's worth. So I'm excited and I'm ready to get into this week 8 slate.
Do you guys know why there's no bye teams this week, or nobody has a bye this week?
I looked at that, and I couldn't find a good reason why.
I don't think they've ever done that. Like, in the middle of all the bye weeks, they just have nobody. Or have they? Am I wrong?
I don't know, but I feel like it makes no sense for the teams that have a bye week 5, and no one has one week 8.
It's
Yeah,
week
that's what I'm
8
saying.
and
Like,
week.
start at week 6 if you're gonna have a week in the middle that has nobody.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's dumb. But
Week 8 and 12 are no buys this year.
Okay, so there's definitely some that's planned out for some reason.
yeah, but do you think? I don't know. Somebody's in Germany
I
this
feel
week.
I feel like it's so. This is such a shot in the dark answer, but I feel like it could be so. Like the weekends that there's, I don't know, like holiday games, they don't have to all play on holidays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Is
I
it
don't
is it
know.
to space things out for? Well, no, that's like a
Could
month
be
away
something to
still
look into. I don't know.
for Thanksgiving.
Weird.
I was
I was gonna
thinking
say
because they have more games.
the Thanksgiving slate is at week 12. Yeah,
Is
that's
it?
week 12. There's 30 games on Thursday, November 23rd. That's
Interesting.
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Well, that
Packers,
one
Lions,
makes sense.
Commanders, Cowboys, Niners, Seahawks. Yeah, that's kind of a brutal Thanksgiving slate.
Wait, say it again.
The Thanksgiving slate this year is Packers at Lions. That Lions always play. Commanders at Cowboys, and then Niners at Seahawks. The night game's probably the best one.
Yeah, night game's gonna be a good one actually.
You're muted, Ace.
I feel like the Commanders will put up a better fight than you expect on Thanksgiving, but no, I think that Seahawks-Niners game is definitely a solid one.
All right, boys. Well, we're chatting here about week 12 when we're in week 8 here. But don't forget to check out our live stream each and every Sunday morning, ready to showcase our 5 top games of the week that we think are worthy of chatting about, giving our winning bets on those. Like I said, Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Facebook, and more. Like I said, 16 games this week in week 8. I think we're ready to jump right into these games here. The first game here being on Thursday, the Bucks and the Bills in Buffalo. Bills are the favorite here, 8.5 points. Their money line -430. The Bucks money line at +340, and the total at 43.5, or just 43, excuse me. The under seems to be the call here on Tampa. Under in 6 of Tampa's last 7 games. Under in 8 out of Tampa Bay's last 10 on the road. And the Bills have been doing really well straight up here. 15-3 straight up in their last 18 at home. What do we think here coming into this matchup? Ace, why don't you get us started here on this one?
Yeah, I mean the Bucks and the Bills, two teams that are kind of having solid seasons all around. both with 3 losses. I know the Bills sitting there with 4 wins and the Bucks at 500. Just a weird stat line there. I don't know why I just read it that way. I think this is actually a great. I actually think this is a great matchup. The Bucks and the Bills. We weren't high on the Bucks coming in as a group. I thought they would perform better than they were, but they're even exceeding my expectations. Really would have liked a win last week at home versus Atlanta. This Bills team, I feel like, wow, watch that. The mic going down. What a day. This Bills team, though, yeah, I feel like they're due for a win. Tough loss to the Patriots last week. They didn't play good football, so I expect them to play a lot, put up a lot more points at home on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, I don't love this Thursday night football game. I kind of lean Bucks though. I think that coming off a tough loss in the division, they kind of bounced back here. But then again, those Bills took a tough loss last week too. Bills are at home, so we know they play a lot better at home. They're coming off a road loss in New England. But I like the points here. I think the Bucks defense does enough to disrupt Josh Allen. Josh Allen's a lot of free balling, like make the big play, make something happen. And this defense is more stay at home, and they're gonna really avoid those type of big plays, and it could stagger this Bills offense greatly. So I lean the plus 8.5. I think that's way too many points in this game, but I don't know. What do you got to say about this?
Yeah, I kind of lean the same way. This is going to be, I definitely have another teaser that's going to last throughout the weekend this week, and this is going to be the first leg. I'm going to get the Bucks as the first leg of a 4-team teaser, up to 19.5 points as the
That's
first
just
leg.
absurd,
What
dude.
the
I
That's
love
heck?
just
that on Thursday
19
Night
and a
Football.
half?
So
it's a 4
That's
leg
mad.
minus 110, isn't it?
it's yeah, I was gonna say minus 110, 4 legs, just crazy points everywhere. So the first leg's gonna be the Bucks at my plus 19.5. I do think they
Bills could
could
cover
cover that
that.
original spread. What's funny is the other play that I was looking at was I just discovered on MGM I can take alternate lines on the first half under, but I have to do a same game parlay with something in that game. So like tomorrow I was looking at Bills money line for the game and first half under, it was like 24.5 and it was plus 115. The original first half under I think is set at 21 in this game tomorrow. I could double check this as well. But that's the other one I was looking at as well. I feel like I could hit both of those. Like Bills win the game, Bucks cover that 19-point spread, and then obviously I just need the first half to go under. So I don't know. I think I might have found two little plays that I like on this game. I don't know if I'm going to card them both going both ways, but it'd be pretty ballsy and pretty sweet if I hit them both going, taking basically a bet on both teams.
That last 4-legger with like drastic changes, like I think it was all over unders last time though. You hit it, so
Yeah,
I might have to tail this one.
yeah. The crazy the crazy points. Like sometimes it looks so safe, and then one team loses by 20, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, yeah. Like that one game, I think it was Green Bay.
It was Green Bay, Denver.
Was
It
the
got up
Jets.
there to 53. I had 54.
Okay, yeah, yeah. It was real close. You said
That
you
was the
didn't
one
even
you said.
realize.
You were like, if one of these scares you, which one is it? I was like, honestly, I forget which one I said. It wasn't that one. You were like, for me, it's some reason it's this Jets Broncos game. I was like, really? That was the one I thought was like for sure. And that literally I had under 54 and it was 53. It was the final score.
Yeah, it got up there for sure.
This one's ugly though. It's not teams I normally like betting on.
I think the Bills are a bit overrated this year, to be honest.
I
Yeah,
think they
but
snap off in this game at
I was
home.
gonna say
In Buffalo,
this
they
could be,
play well.
They do
it
play
could
really
be.
well in Buffalo.
I was gonna say it could be 7-0 pretty quick here.
They put up
And then
points
that
quick this week. I think after a loss, Josh Allen's going to be slinging this week. Obviously, he's going to be loose with the ball and throw an interception here or there. With the depleted Bucks secondary, I think there's going to be points. I really do. Thursday
see, I
night
think
game.
I think for how many people are missing on Buffalo's defense, I think this is a game where the Bucks can finally get a run game going. Because the Bills don't have Matt Milano, don't have much going up the middle. I don't know the status on all their defensive backs. I feel like they've all been injured all year, but I don't know. I have Rashad White in fantasy. I've been needing him to have a little bit of a breakout game. I'm hoping maybe he can get in the end zone for me tomorrow night, get a couple catches. I was looking at his receiving prop as well because obviously they love to dish him the ball. Baker loves those little check down plays. So yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna have a play on this game. So this teaser obviously is one of them. So I might have another straight player too. So make sure you're staying tuned to the Twitter and the Instagram to get all our official plays going into tomorrow night. I guess tonight, Thursday Night Football, when you're listening to this.
I was just saying, Ace, this game's getting close, down to the wire.
I'm turning on Wemby's debut.
I stopped watching it when it was 99-93. I'll throw it back on.
Uh-oh.
Celtics are down 2.
They got free throws coming.
Oh, it's a good game.
Oh, Wemby's on after this.
Wemby's going to lose in his debut.
That's fine. I just want to see him.
Oh, alright. I bet against him, I think.
Good stuff there, boys. There Thursday night football, Bucks and Bills. Let's move forward to the 1 o'clock slate here on Sunday. The first matchup we got of the 15 we have left, Eagles and Commanders in Washington. Eagles are the favorite here, just 6.5 points. Their money line minus 295. Commanders money line at plus 240, and the total at 43.5. No trends for me here. Ace, you want to start on this one here again? I don't know. 6.5 seems a little low compared to some of these games I see.
It does seem low, especially considering it's the Philadelphia Eagles we're talking about, but it is an NFC East divisional matchup, so you always expect them to play pretty tight. However, I just wanted to say this before we get into this point: Mackey and Huff, the Eagles, they're really good. Did they cement that in your rankings so far this year with that win over the Dolphins?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I just think I've always thought the Eagles were good. I had them division winners coming into the season. I think that they took a tiny bit of a step back from last season, and I still kind of believe that. But there's definitely still a top 3 team in the league. But other than that, I just think that game said more about the Miami Dolphins than it did the Philadelphia Eagles. Needing big stops late in that game, they couldn't get them. That late pass to AJ Brown, incredible pass by Jalen Hurts, but it's also a terrible defensive play. There's 2 guys back there, get a hand on the ball, they let it drop in. I just think that they're just not made for the big time. They have 5 big wins, or they have 5 wins, all against teams with 1 or 2 wins or lower. They just haven't really proved themselves as much as I really thought that they had.
They can still score points. We saw that with the Tyreek Hill Tua Tagovailoa play, reminiscent of the Alabama one I sent you guys on Instagram, which is pretty cool to watch. But there's definitely some holes, especially in that defense, and they've fallen to superior teams like the Bills and Eagles when they have to go on the road and face a tough test.
Yeah, I think this is definitely, I mean, especially this week, a tough divisional matchup. I'm not saying the Commanders are anyone good, but any divisional matchup, in my opinion, they always give him a run for their money. Eagles a 6.5 point favorite in this one. Like you said, Monday night or Sunday night, whenever that game was against the Dolphins, AJ Brown, I mean, he looked like he's in his absolute prime. Jalen Hurts has been having the turnover issues the past couple of weeks. This Washington defense, we saw what Jonathan Allen said in that post game after the Giants. It's been 7 years, nothing's changed. Just basically saying, the whole organization just keeps on losing. He's been there for that whole time, and not much has changed. But I don't know. A divisional spread, 6.5 points. That's tough. I could see the Commanders backdoor cover this, but I'd probably lean. If I had to make a bet on this, I'd go with the Eagles. But I'm not going to be betting a spread in this one. I surprisingly think this could go over. I kind of like the points to go over. I know that's kind of unusual for a divisional matchup, but excuse me, I do think this gets over that 43.5 number.
Yeah, I also won't be touching this one, but I do lean Eagles. I think Sam Howell is kind of coming back down to earth a little. Um, pretty bad game last week against the Giants, lost 14-7. Now you're going up against the Eagles defense. I think he's going to have a really tough game. Eagles should cover, but again, it's divisional, so we could see a backdoor cover here, so I probably won't be touching it.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if I'll be touching it. Definitely will be looking to add this. I know a lot of people do like a 3-team heavy favorite parlay. That'd be one of them. I do think the Eagles definitely win this game. I think it could be tight, like you guys said, but it's in Philadelphia, right?
No, it's in
Yeah.
Washington.
Oh, no, I thought
Oh,
it was in Philly.
it's in Washington. I mean, that's why I think it could play tighter to the vest. But I do think the Eagles are the more superior team, and there's no answer really for AJ Brown right now. The guy's going over 125 and 5 straight, cement putting himself in that offensive player of the year MVP type conversation for a wide receiver. And they have all the other weapons around them too. I think the Eagles win this one. It could get out of hand, but for divisional matchup sake, I'm probably staying away from the spread on this one. But that stat Huff was talking about last week with the high spreads heading at a good rate this year could be something to think about.
Very interesting stuff coming out of our first 1 o'clock matchup here. Let's jump forward to our next one here. The Jacksonville Jaguars heading to Pittsburgh to visit the Steelers. The Jags are the favorite here, 2.5 points for them. Their money line minus 152. Steelers money line at plus 128, and the total at 41.5. Trends for this one: Jacksonville is 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games on the road, and the under has gone under in 5 of the Pittsburgh's last 6 games, as well as under in 5 out of Pittsburgh's last 6 games against Jacksonville. So, what are you guys thinking out of this one, Huff? Why don't you get us started here in Pittsburgh on Sunday?
Yeah, I personally I like them in this spot, or I like them in their spot last week against the Rams. I took them on the money line on the card. I got them at plus 150. Here at home, I'm not feeling as confident against this Jaguars team just for the sake of a much better quarterback, in my opinion, than Trevor Lawrence this year with a deep threat in Calvin Ridley. I know we had to deal with Cooper Kupp and Nakua last week, but I think this is a different Jacksonville offense coming into Pittsburgh this week. You have Travis Etienne, who's been one of the hottest running backs in the league the past couple of weeks, scoring at will. Calvin Ridley, like I said, the deep threat that he is. Kirk, they have weapons all over the field. I think Jacksonville could give us a run for our money this week. But yet again, Steelers at home. Mike Tomlin is an underdog. All the signs tell me to take the Steelers to win this game. The public's on the Jaguars. I'm probably going to go with and take the Steelers in this game, but not my most confident pick in my team. But like I said, I'd take the points. It'd be tough just because it's 3, but I'd probably just roll with the 130 on the money line, but not my most confident play in my Steelers.
Yeah, I definitely lean Jags in this one, but I just can't find a way to bet against the Steelers team at home. They just keep finding ways to win football games, but this Jags team is rolling. 4 straight. Trevor Lawrence is really finding a way with Calvin. Him and Calvin really have had a crazy connection these past few games. I feel like ever since London, they've been on a different level. But then again, like going into Pittsburgh, going into Hines, T.J. Watts, he's going to have a game. And they just keep finding ways to win football games. That defense is just crazy right now. So I'm not gonna have a play on this game, but I do lean the Jaguars.
Yeah, Mackie, I'm right there with you on that Jags take. Like, this is so enticing to me. I'm a huge, huge Jags guy. You've seen on my card a lot this year. I think they're gonna make a run for that AFC, honestly, even if they can get hot towards the playoff season. But 3 points against the Steelers team that's so pesky, and they just keep finding ways to win. Like, no way do I think these Steelers should be able to cover 3 points against the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I can't put it on the card because they've done crazier things against better teams already this year. So I'll probably be staying away. But one thing I would like to know, it's really been Christian Kirk who's been coming to life for those Jacksonville Jaguars. Ridley was held without a catch in the first half last week. Christian Kirk had that home run catch. Zay Jones coming back into the mix as well. And Travis Etienne, 2 touchdowns last week. I hit that on the end of time. That guy's turned into a top 5 running back in the league, in my opinion, at this time. But this team, it's going to be so tough for me to stay away, but I think I might have to.
With Ridley, when I said that about Ridley, that's just the kind of player that could torch the Steelers secondary. I can already see that. He has so much speed. We have no one that can cover that. Kirk's kind of the same thing, but Ridley's just, he's a whole different breed, I feel like, of a receiver.
You see Kirk's game winner last week,
Uh-huh.
Thursday Night Football. That guy's been electric this year. The 3 of them, even with Zay Jones, that's one of the best wide receiving trios in the league. I think it rivals the Cincinnati Bengals almost.
I don't know if it's that good. The Bengals are.
They just don't have a Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but the 3 is better than that. You know what I mean? It's a good group, though.
I don't know. I'd probably take Tyler Boyd over Zay Jones.
Really? Zay Jones is good.
And I'd probably take T. Higgins over Christian Kirk as well.
Yeah. Hey, but where would you put him? Maybe like 3rd?
It is a
No, they're definitely up there.
It is a very powerful 3.
Three great receivers. Just
you don't see many. Just get through all 3.
Yeah, right. Like, no, but you don't. It's a good group. It's a good group for sure.
No, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. That was just funny how he did that.
Alrighty, boys, there. Game in Pittsburgh at 1 o'clock. Let's move forward to this next 1 o'clock matchup. The New Orleans Saints heading to the Indianapolis Colts. The Saints, the favorite here, just 1.5 points for them, minus 110 on the money line. Colts, minus 106 on the money line, total 43.5. Very similar totals across these first couple games, but I got some trends here for the under. The total has gone under in 5 out of New Orleans' last 5 games on the road. And the total has gone under in 5 out of Indianapolis' last 5 games when playing at home against the Saints. So these teams love that under, that 43.5. Like I said, who wants to get us rolling on this matchup?
Yeah. I really want the Saints to win this football game. I have a future.
I was just gonna say, I just need the Saints to win this game.
I really need the Saints to win this football game, and I think that they can do it. But that Colts team looked good last week against a really good defense, put up 38 points in a shootout. They lost 38-39 to the Cleveland Browns, but this is definitely a different situation for them. Another good defense. I don't know. It matters what Gardner Minshew comes out and does. He had an incredible game last week. The week before he looked pretty terrible. So if we could see some of what he saw last week, I think the Colts are in good shape on their home field. But I'm really pulling for the Saints.
I'll just cut in here. I completely agree. I really want the Saints to win this game. It's not my most confident play, obviously, coming off a loss against Jacksonville. They get the mini bye week playing on last Thursday up till this Sunday. I'm going to go with the Saints to win this game. The minus 109 on the money line, or at least that's what I'm seeing as the best line listed here. But I'm going to go with the Saints to win this game. I think the Colts slip another one up here. Just get a little bit short end of the stick here. I'm going to go with the Saints. I think Kamara has another big game. I'm probably going to have to start jumping on that receiving prop. I took it 2 weeks ago, and then the fucking 12 reception game, they're just throwing the ball to him every play. With Chris Olave doing his little off the field antics, we don't know what's going to be going on there. Is he supposed to play Sunday? Did they say anything about that?
Who?
No, why don't you
Is it-
cover the situation real quick, Huff?
Yeah, whatever he was doing, driving 70 miles an hour in a 35, and then said he plays for the Saints. And yeah, that was a little ugly little chest. What was it? Body cam video Mackie sent, but you knew that was coming out. We said that as soon as we saw that news. We
Dude,
were
they
like,
want to
yeah.
see that. That'll be out like before. I knew it was going to be like a day or two.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely.
Cop was kind of
But
a dick, so there's no way he helped him out at all.
no, yeah, I'm definitely on the Saints here. I think the Saints pick up a little bit of an ugly win here. I think the game goes under as well.
Yeah, I think this is going to be tougher than you guys expect with this Colts team. I could see a low-scoring game, both teams sitting under 20 points. I think it's going to be decided by a field goal or game-ending touchdown, that final drive type thing. I think it's going to be a slugfest on the ground, and then those dink and dunk short passes with a lot of drives that end in 3 or 0. And I'm not making a pick on this one, but Huff, it really seems like you're so off these Colts without Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Minshew guy, but I don't know.
I
They've
mean,
been
they're
putting up a
two-headed
fight.
monster.
Dude, he
They
looked.
go they go 16 carries for Taylor and 16 for Zach Moss. That's not a bad recipe for success.
Yeah. No, I agree. And this is more just I need the Saints to win this game for a division parlay that I have. I can't let them get too far behind in this shitty division. I know they can pick up wins later on, but this is an out of conference game. I need to see them win personally.
Yeah, I'm in
Yeah,
the
and
same boat.
what about Josh Downs though for the Colts really coming onto the scene? He went over for 100 again last week. Him and Michael Pittman Jr. with that big touchdown to keep that game against the Browns crazy. They've turned into a good duo.
Michael Pittman's playing some really good football.
I like
He's
him
turned
a
into
lot.
he's turned into a solid one. He was definitely
We
not
had that
that
conversation
before.
a couple weeks ago. I thought I was like the only person that thought that. I like him a lot.
Ace, what's your line on the Celtics game?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Four
Is
and
it
a half.
3.5?
No, it's 4.
You're gonna push, I think.
I would take that. I would definitely take that. I put a good. I have a good bet on that.
Alrighty, boys. There, the Saints and the Colts. There, another 1:00 matchup as we move through this Week 8 slate. The next game we got here: the Houston Texans and the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. Texans are the favorite here, -3. Their money line -164. Panthers money line at +138, and the total another 43.5. A lot of these totals, like I said, hanging out around that number. Trends I got here: Houston 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 on the road. Carolina 4-1 against the spread in their last its last 5 games when playing Houston. What are we thinking here? Like I said, spread it an even 3. Panthers at home, Texans favored. Mackie, what do you think?
Yeah, I actually think this is a really good opportunity for the Panthers to come in and pick up their first win. Texans defense isn't all that. Coming off a bye, we're going to see a young CJ Stroud off a bye. He might come in a little slow. We just got to see Bryce Young do a little something. I think he's playing, if I'm not
He
wrong.
is.
But yeah, I mean, he's got to pick it up sooner or later. They're 0-6. They got to get their first win under their belt. They're really not the worst team in the world. They're eligible to win a few games this year. I think this is a good spot for them to at least maybe get something going, maybe get a win under their belt.
Yeah, I'll jump in here real quick because I'm on the same side as you. I almost wanted to take them to win this game, but I don't love the original 3 points. I'd probably take them to win the game, and taking an 0-6 team to win, it's just not something I want to do here. I might end up doing it closer to Sunday, but this is the second leg of my teaser. I have the Panthers at +14, so I like that a lot. Like I said, not necessarily one of the prettier legs of it, but taking an 0-6 team to just cover 14 points. They've been playing good the past 2 weeks. Obviously, they got the Dolphins last week. They got up to a nice lead on them, and then obviously we know what happened in the second half. That Dolphins team just really came alive and showed what they really were. But then, or 2 weeks ago, Panthers obviously coming off the bye week. I didn't realize that, but and then the week before that against the Lions, they put up 24. So Bryce Young has been good. I like them coming off the bye this week at home, like Mackie said, to possibly win the game. But I'm going to take them in the teaser, like I said, plus the 14 points.
Yeah, it's a crazy teaser. You got Huff, a lot of points. I honestly want to say this is a great matchup. We have Bryce Young versus CJ Stroud. And I like Stroud's team in this one, but one thing I'm really going to look at is Adam Thielen. I mean, before the bye, he's one of the best receivers in the league. Look at maybe his receiving prop or his touchdown. It's probably going to be at plus money still. Against a young Texans defense, I think he will continue to have a good day, especially off the bye. That'll help those older legs. I'm interested to see how Miles Sanders kind of comes back into the mix. I know he was out and playing behind Chuba Hubbard a bit, so I want to see what they're looking like out of the bye. This Panthers team, maybe this young group can use that time to put a better performance together. But I expect a good game, a decent amount of points in this one. Um, I think that's a pretty low line for these two inexperienced quarterbacks, but I think it'll be a pretty good game, honestly. No official play for me on this one, I don't think.
AC push. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah, I'm watching that right now. Tufts would have liked the win, but like I'll take a push when they were down like 6, 2 minutes left.
Knicks missed a few shots at the end there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Alrighty, boys. Mackie, your Dallas Cowboys up here next. The Rams and the Cowboys, another 1:00 matchup here in Dallas. Dallas, the favorite, -6.5. Their money line, -270. Rams at +220, and the total at an even 45. No trends for me here. Why don't you get us rolling, Mackie? Your Cowboys coming off a bye here, playing the Rams. Steelers beat the Rams last week. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually really like the Cowboys in this situation, -6.5 on their home field. If I'm not mistaken, the Cowboys are very good after a bye. Dak Prescott's going to be slinging the ball against this weak defense. Got to see that defense step up though against Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp on the other side of the football. So defense is going to be going to have their hands full, but I don't see a situation where Dallas loses this game. I think the spread might come into play, but Dallas should cover 6.5 point spread in this one.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also I don't love the spread, but I do lean on the Cowboys here minus the 6.5 points on their home field. Like you said, coming off a bye week, this Rams team has started to struggle the past couple of weeks. I think there was a lot going on with McVay with the kid stuff last week. He didn't know when that was coming. I think that is out of the way now. So possibly, a better coaching situation for McVay coming into this week. Not having to worry about that off the field stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the Rams cover this number, but yeah, I probably won't be touching this game, but I do lean on the Cowboys minus the 6.5 points.
I just think this Cowboys offense is going to be electric this week, especially coming off the bye week.
Big CD Lamb game, I think.
Yeah, I think they continue to eat Jake Ferguson. I'm not going to touch any of his props, but I bet you he gets back onto the field unlike the last time when we took him. But yeah, I think Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, they're going to get theirs. I think it's going to be more favored to Kupp this week because it was heavily towards Nacua last week. But who knows? Maybe Puka really pushes for that offensive rookie of the year. Yeah, I do like the Cowboys here to put up maybe a team total on the over. I do think it'll be a higher scoring game, honestly. Don't see how those Cowboys are going to stop the quick hitters. I mean, against the Steelers, look at what they did, and that's pretty similar defense, in my opinion. So I think the Cowboys get right back on track with the win here, and those Rams are going to fall back to earth, especially without a run game. I mean, I know, who was it, Royce Freeman and Darrell Henderson? Darrell Henderson, former Ram, stepped on the scene, but not too much, in my opinion. The Rams were saved by that Tutu Atwell touchdown as well, where he caught in front of the Steeler. Who was that?
What, last week?
Yeah.
I know the player you're talking about. I don't remember who it
He
was.
threw it up the cup naturally, and then of course Tutu jumps out of nowhere and snags it. I was like, hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty. Let's keep on cooking on here. The Falcons and the Titans are next here in Nashville. The Falcons are the favorite here, -2.5. Their money line, -148. Titans on the money line at +126. Total at a low 35.5. I got trends here that just love the under. I know this under is very low, but the total has gone under in 5 out of Atlanta's last 5 games on the road, as well as 5 out of 5 in just their total games. Under in Tennessee's in the last 9 out of 10, and under in Tennessee's 13 of 16 at home. The books clearly know these trends, know this stuff. 35.5, super low. Who wants to get us rolling here on this one?
Yeah, that's a crazy over under. I'll get us started here. I like the Titans here in this spot, and I know that there's a chance that Will Levis starts this game. I'm
Oh,
just gonna
he
take.
is.
I think I'm just gonna take the better coach team here in the Titans. I think Vrabel ekes one out here at home against his Falcons team. This is also the third leg of my teaser. I have them plus 13.5 in this teaser, so I might double down on the Titans here. I might take the money line, but I do have them in that teaser as well. So that leaves one more leg. I believe it's in the 4 o'clock slate, but so far I got Bucks, Panthers, Titans, and then one more. It is in the 4 o'clock slate.
Yeah, I'm not big on the Falcons. I haven't really been all year. I think they keep eking out wins. I'm not big on Desmond Ritter, especially when he's away. And the Titans play really good football at home. I'm with you here, Huff. I think Mike Vrabel can find a way to win this football game. It's going to be really slow. Tennessee's going to have a tough time putting up points against this Atlanta defense. So I think the total is actually pretty good. I think it even might go under, but it's going to be a lot of defense in this game. Very slow. I don't think Desmond Ritter can really get much going against the Titans defense as well. So, give me the Titans in a close battle.
Yeah, I like Ace. I want to go. Just want to say something here real quick before you come in. I just like the reason I teased the Titans here was because I looked at that over under and I was like, okay, if I get 13, 14 points in this game, that tells me they think that's a pretty safe play. What do they think the final score is going to be? You know what I mean? 20-13, something like that.
Yeah, I mean yeah, exactly. If in a low scoring game you're getting 13.5, I mean,
Yeah, you just hope Derrick Henry, Bijan, Algier run the fucking ball the whole time. I don't think they're going to trust Will Levis too much. They might try some, but I think Vrabel's going to play pretty close to the vest, as Ace always says, and just kind of use King Henry. I think this could be a big game for Derrick Henry.
If this was a primetime game, I'll tell you what my two bets would be off the rip. Bijan and Derrick Henry are both plus 155 on my book to score a touchdown this game. That's
because
kind of
the
crazy.
under's
I'd
35.5.
hammer Derrick Henry in that game.
But I like both of them. I mean, they could both end up hitting at plus
Yeah,
155. You're making good value. You're making over half a unit if you only hit on one of them. I do like both those plays. That's pretty crazy.
yeah, but
Um,
you hit both, you get 3. That's nice.
you missed both. You missed two. But no, it's a good risk. Um, you at
I
least have
always
to
look at the reward.
yeah. You at least have to hit one. And I'd like one, if not both, to get in. Not too confident in either pick here. All the games we've had on this slate so far, minus the Eagles, I'm not too sure is going to come out on the winning side. Yeah, I like them to score. I think it's going to be a tough game. I do like the Falcons. If you're going to make me take a side here, I'm going with the Falcons. I think they played well enough on the road last week. Have a lighter test in the Titans than the Bucks, and continue their success. They could push for that NFC wild card for sure.
Moving right along here, another 1 o'clock matchup. Just a few more left in the 1 o'clock slate. Another battle of East Rutherford, or no, the battle of East Rutherford here. New York Jets at the New York Giants. This game is in East Rutherford. Like I said, the Jets the favorite -3. Their money line -146. Giants money line +124. Total also pretty low here, 36.5, just 1 point above that last one. Trends I have here: the total has gone under in 5 out of the Giants' last 5 games. And the total has gone under in 8 out of the Jets' last 11 games. 36.5 there on the total. Mackie, why don't you get us rolling here on this one? The Battle of New York, East Rutherford, and Jersey.
Yeah, it's Battle of New Jersey actually with these two fraud New York teams.
Is
But
Daniel
yeah,
Jones playing in this game?
no,
We
he is
say it
not.
we ask every week.
He is not, and I think it's a good thing for the Giants. I think Tyrod Taylor meshes with this offense a lot better than Daniel Jones does. I think this team has more confidence in Tyrod Taylor as well. Daniel Jones has not been playing good football at all. I think not. They don't need to move on from him just yet. But if they're getting something going, they're getting something going. They had a nice win last week. I know it was low scoring, but with that being said, I like the Jets to cover 3 points here. I think they're the more complete team. Zach Wilson's doing enough to beat a team like the New York Giants. And that defense is gonna stand on their heads in this game for sure. Jets are the better team. They're both kind of home. There's a lot more Jets fans recently that I've realized in New York. I didn't know there was this many Jets fans. Now Aaron Rodgers is here and is kind of split in the middle. So, but yeah, I think the Jets should cover this one.
I don't know, dude. I kind of I said it last week. I don't know why, but I kind of like the Giants here. I don't know if I'd play it, but kind of like what Ace said about the 2 running backs in the last game. I would like maybe a Brees Hall and a Barkley touchdown in this game. That would be maybe rather than a side in this one. I like both running backs to score in this matchup actually a lot. I don't know the odds on it or to really care to look right now, but yeah, I don't know. I lean the Giants here. I don't know why. It's just kind of the uglier play, I guess. I don't love it, but
There's going to
I
be
don't
less
know.
points in this game than there is in the Titans and Falcons game. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
I don't
really have
know.
a play on this game.
I feel like Jets Giants can get a little crazy. You see some defensive touchdowns, some fumble pick sixes or whatever.
I
Um,
mean, if you're predicting that nonsense, maybe, but I think on the offensive side, there's more offensive points than the Titans and Falcons game.
yeah. Then again, the Giants do kind of own East Rutherford, so I don't know.
It's
They
going
can
to be
run
a
up our little
battle for that,
win.
for every inch in that game. That'll be kind of a hard fought game. I like the under there, though, for sure.
Good stuff there, boys. Ace, let's shoot it over to you here next. The New England Patriots visiting the Miami Dolphins in Miami. Big spread here, 9.5 in favor of the Dolphins. Their money line minus 460. Patriots in plus 360. And the total, 46.5. No good trends here from me here this week. But Ace, what are you thinking here going into Miami?
First off, just want to say the New England Patriots. I said it on the live stream right when we got off. I said Patriots win today. Book it, book it. Got off like that.
You say
Maggie's
that
like,
every
no
week.
shot. Yeah, I know, but when you get it right, you got to call it out. So I got it right, and you said send me that ticket, and I did put in one ticket for you, $5 whopping on the Patriots plus 320, and
This is
ended
the
up
same
hitting.
kid who throws $400 on straight bets.
Yeah, but no, we ended up taking the Patriots.
Yeah.
But we ended up taking the Patriots live on that last drive. I mean, he's been in that moment 4 times this whole year already. Like, it's a short season so far, and he's had 4 game-winning drive opportunities against good teams, and he hasn't completed them. But he does it against Josh Allen. So Josh Allen losing to Mac Jones and Zach Wilson on the year, had to get that off my chest. Feels good. Patriots get back in the win column. But if you do some quick football math, then the Patriots could theoretically beat the Miami Dolphins this week. But if we're going to be a bit more realistic, I think that's a tall order going into Miami. South Beach, tough place to play for any team, especially a division rival. But the Patriots a bit healthier on the secondary side of the football, at least going into Miami. So that'll be interesting to watch those matchups. Jack Jones finally coming back. Jonathan Jones in the mix to match up with Hill. And J.C. Jackson really turning back into the player he once was. Great to see. But Mac Jones in the offense finally putting up some points, firing on better cylinders, not all cylinders, definitely not. I think they can cover 10 points. I'd buy that half point. If you can get them in a super tease like Huff, I love that. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna go with the Pats money line. Super soft again because you got to, but this will be a good game, I think.
Yeah, Mac Jones had a pretty good game last week, but you know what Mac Jones loves to do after playing good football? Play really bad football and just remind you of who he is. So I like Miami here. I think that these are the type of games that Miami takes advantage of, and they put up the points, they blow them out, and they kind of reel you back in to think that they're another top 3 team. But um, yeah, I think at home they're 3-0 at home this season. They're putting up the points. The offense is going. I just think 9 points should be an easy cover for a team that's really slinging the football.
One thing, Huff, before you jump in here, one thing I would like to point out, the only good thing, we already have seen these Dolphins this year, and this game was really close. We came right to that 10-15 yard line on the final drive. Would have been the same exact win that we had against the Bills just last week. So we usually split with this team year in and year out. I know it's tougher in South Beach, but I mean, hey, I've seen crazier things happen than a divisional win.
Yeah, I was gonna say a 9.5 point spread or whatever it is in a divisional matchup. I normally would love the underdog. I don't love it as much. I did take the Bills last week in that first half. I got burned on it as the Patriots went up to that 10-0 lead. But here I don't know. I guess if I'm gonna take a spread, I am gonna lean on the Patriots, but I absolutely do not like it. Like you said, for all the reasons going into South Beach, how explosive that offense is. But I did see a couple of those reports. You're getting those guys back on defense, so that was a couple of the reasons that made me kind of lean on the Patriots with the points. But I also just like a lot of the underdogs this week, so that could also just be a part of my trend with that. But I probably won't see this on my card, but like Ace said, if you could get this up in a teaser, this wouldn't be a bad leg to add. But this is also one, like Mackie said, I could see this get burnt pretty quick. So this is a game I'm going to stay away from.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was their second time already meeting this year. 9.5 point spread might be a little high for a team that's already got a grasp on what they're trying to do over there. But like I said, these are the games that Miami likes to really show up and blow the other team out. Teams that have 2 wins in the season.
One guy we don't talk about much on this podcast, the Patriots really have to key on. He killed us last time we matched up. He's been killing everybody all year. Is Raheem Mostert. Guy's one of the most dynamic running backs in the league, probably the most slept on. I talk about Kenneth Walker. I talk about Travis Etienne. But I mean, how good has Mostert been? He leads the league in touchdowns now.
Yeah, and he's A-Chain's out right now, so he's getting all the workload. He could have a big game definitely against run if they stick to the run game.
Similar to when they matched up with the Patriots before the Noah chain. So they've seen what Mostert has. They've seen what this whole group has that they're going in with. Excited to see the Patriots hopefully defy the odds again.
Let's keep it cooking here. Final 1:00 matchup here in Week 8. The Minnesota Vikings heading to the Green Bay Packers. Vikings the favorite here, 1.5. Their money line -110. Packers at -106. Total 42.5. The only trend I got here is that the Packers 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games when playing at home against Minnesota. Just 1.5 points here for Minnesota. You guys think the Packers cover that? What do you think, Huff?
Yeah, I'll start us out here. Obviously, divisional matchup. This Vikings team has been rolling these past couple weeks. It seems like they've gotten to kind of a new spark under them since the start of the season after starting out pretty rough. I love this Vikings team in this spot. I'm probably definitely gonna have this on my card. I like the money line. I like the -1. The money line's -109. I'm seeing as the best play. So I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings here to win this game. I'm completely off of this Packers team. I think that they are a bit of a year away, and I kind of overestimated this team coming into this year. I'm going to go with the Vikings here. I think this is where the Vikings are going to start to pick up a couple of wins. A huge win last week against the 49ers. Needed them. Obviously, I have them to win this division as well. I don't love it in this race with Detroit, but a divisional win is what they need here. I think that they get it on the road in Green Bay. I'll take the Vikings on the money line.
This is a tough matchup. I mean, these two teams have both shown me so little this year. But you're right, Huff. I got to go with the Vikings in this one. How terrible and slow that Packers offense looked last week. I can't believe they dropped that game to the lowly Denver Broncos, one of the worst teams in the NFL, in my opinion. I don't see much trending up in terms of offense for this group. Maybe Aaron Jones getting a week healthier, but he looked non-existent last week. He's their only true dynamic playmaker. Jaden Reed, really the only one that does anything out there. Their sole touchdown really last week being a broken play as well, which is almost saved me. But on the other side of the ball, the Vikings firing on all cylinders without Justin Jefferson. We love to see that. They're still playing good football. I have that ticket on them to win division. Maybe it can come back to life. Jordan Addison, guy looked great. TJ Hawkinson, even better. Kirk Cousins too. You know, they're all just like got a bunch of zins on that side of the ball. So they'll be good to go. I like the Vikings here.
Yeah, this team's really figuring it out, but this line's a little sketchy going into they're going into Lambeau, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think they probably should be. I still think they should be a little bit higher spread. Maybe it's a Jordan Love bounce back game against a pretty weak defense. Um, but this Vikings team is playing very good football. Kirk Cousins is playing very well. Yeah, Jordan Addison kind of stepping into a much bigger role with Justin Jefferson out the past few weeks. Huge game last week on Monday Night Football. Um, so yeah, I do lean Vikings. Just kind of a sketchy game. I might have to stay away from it.
Good stuff out of the 1:00 slate here. Let's jump into this 4 p.m. matchup. First one here, Cleveland Browns, Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. Seahawks the favorite here, 3.5 points. Their money line -174. Browns at +146. Total 38.5. Trends I got here, Cleveland 4-2 straight up in its last 6. Seattle 4-1 against the spread in its last 5. Who do we like coming out of this first 4:00 matchup here? Just 3.5 points. Who wants to get us rolling?
I'll
Yeah.
start us out here. I don't love this game, but one thing I just noticed that I do love about this 4:00 slate is all the other teams in the AFC North are out in the NFC West this week. So I do love that for my Steelers getting a home game. Hopefully they can pick up a win because these are 3 tough matchups for the rest of the AFC North. Not as much the Ravens, but do love to see that. I like the Seahawks with the points here. I'm going to probably go ahead and take them with the 3.5, maybe take the -3. I think the Seahawks pick up a nice win here at home. That offense has kind of struggled last week a little bit without Metcalf in that game against the Cardinals, but towards the end of that second half, they kind of came true and showed their real colors and picked up a really nice divisional win, covered a 9-point spread. I'm on the Seahawks here with the 3 points. Tough Browns defense, but obviously the unknown with the Browns at the quarterback position. I think PJ Walker's Cinderella story is over with 2 big wins. I'm going to go with the Seahawks at home here. I think this is a tough road trip for the Browns. I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Yeah, I am big on these Browns, but I don't really like them in this situation. I think the Seahawks are definitely a good team. They we thought last year might have been a fluke. I don't think it was a fluke. I think Geno Smith is still playing some really good football, but we've seen them struggle a lot against some really good defenses this year. When they played the Bengals 2 weeks ago, they lost that game 17-13. So many staggered like red zone trips where they even some bad play calling where they were in the red zone, I think, 3 times in the final 10 minutes and went for it 3 times. Could have won the game on 3 field goals, but this team they're a lot of staggered drives, a lot of drives going downfield, just kind of falling short. We're gonna have to see a lot from Geno Smith to finish off drives in this game. He's not gonna need a lot because it is gonna be more of a defensive game, but um, we're gonna definitely need to see a little more from him.
Yeah, I mean, the Browns defense really scares me on taking this game. Don't know if I'll be taking a side. Definitely will be watching this one. It's really dependent on if Deshaun Watson can play. If he's not in this
He's
game
out.
this week, he's out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I'm.
already out.
Uh, yeah, I don't. Not very high on this game then. And Jerome Ford out a couple weeks as well. Kareem Hunt going to be carrying the workload with Pierre Strong mixed in too, but I don't see how they're going to put up many points on offense. PJ Walker looked very weak last week, in my opinion. Um, Seahawks at home, I lean them for sure, but it's still tough going against Miles Garrett. I don't know. I don't know about this game. I'm gonna stay away, but I think it'll be a good watch on Sunday. That Seahawks team is flying high on offense, especially on the outside, but that edge rush of Miles Garrett is game changing. It's like TJ Watt esque.
Solid stuff there, boys. Another 4 o'clock matchup here, 4:26 p.m. Cincinnati Bengals heading to San Francisco to visit the 49ers. Another 3.5 point spread here in favor of the 49ers. Their money line minus 166. Bengals on the money line at plus 140 and the total 43.5. The only trend I got here is San Francisco 5-0 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 games at home. Cincinnati 5-1 against the spread in its last 6 games when playing on the road against San Francisco. So some conflicting trends there, but I'm curious to hear, who do you guys got here in San Francisco?
Yeah, I've taken this Bengals team the past couple of weeks coming off a bye week. I'm going to take them again here. They're the last team in my teaser. I get them plus 14.5 points to close out this teaser in the 4 o'clock slate. I love the Bengals in this spot. I'm going to probably take a money line in this teaser for the reason that Sam Darnold's going to step in. I think that's nothing against him. He is a go this week for the 49ers. I like them, or I like the Bengals to keep up with them on offense. I think the 49ers defense still gets theirs. I think this is a huge come out game for the Bengals off a bye week. I think you're going to see a healthy Joe Burrow in this game. Give me the better quarterback in this spot. I'll take the Bengals to win this game.
Brock's not out yet.
They said there's a very good chance you see Sam Darnold
Really?
on Sunday.
Yeah, because he's in
Will Sam
concussion
Darnold be
protocol.
better than Brock Purdy?
No way. I think
No,
he'll
I
be.
don't.
I think he'll be all right.
He'll definitely be more than serviceable. I mean, I'm a big Brock Purdy guy. I think he's a solid quarterback, but I think with all the weapons around him, Sam Darnold might have play solid football.
Yeah, but this Niners team is all out of wax right now. I mean, two straight losses.
Hmm.
Um, one of them to a bad team. I mean, we got to see them bounce back. That offense has got to get something going. They haven't looked the same. Defense kind of getting picked apart too. I mean, the Vikings did what they wanted. Kirk Cousins did what he wanted to do last week. T.J. Hawkinson had a huge game. I think he had like 11 catches. Check down after check down, but they were like long check downs, like 15 yards. So they got to fill up those holes. Ayo. And I don't know. I'm just kind of against this Niners team right now. I think they're not really playing to their potential.
No, but one thing I will tell you that's very consistent is Christian McCaffrey getting in the end zone. I mean, have you guys seen that
It's
bankroll you
just
could get on that if you
incredible,
took it?
dude. It's incredible. He just finds ways every single
He
game.
had
I mean, he
two
had two
again.
last
He had
game,
two again.
a
He's the MVP,
30-yard
right?
receiving touchdown. He's not gonna be because the MVP is a QB award, and we've kind of figured that out
Yeah,
by
yeah,
now.
yeah.
But he's easily like the most valuable player on a team, I think.
Yeah, agreed for sure. I think that the 49ers, I think they could win this one at home. those Bengals going on the road. We still got to see how Joe Burrow holds up. I still am not convinced he's 100% healthy. And I think if he's moving around the pocket, maybe Nick Bosa shows up for once. That'd be nice after signing that lucrative deal. But I think this will be a good game once again. Check my card Sunday. I'll have my plays here. Hesitant on this 49ers spread. First time I didn't take it last week. So we'll see if I get back on that trend or not.
I love the Bengals in this spot. I told you I'm back in on this. I love this spot here. +1.
I like the matchup for their
I like
top end receivers against that secondary.
I like the Bengals as well. I mean, it's just very hard to bet against this Niners team. If I was to lean, I would definitely go Bengals. Bengals could win this game outright. It's hard to go into San Francisco. They haven't lost at home
I
yet
told
this
you I
season.
might do the money line because I already have them in this teaser, so I might just take the money line. I'm not going to take the +3.5.
That defense is just, I mean, if Sam Darnold's going, that defense can get picked apart.
Let's keep it rolling here. Another 4 o'clock matchup. Ravens and Cardinals. In Arizona, the Ravens are the favorite here, 8.5 points. One of our bigger spreads here of the week. Their money line -390. The Cardinals +310 in the total, 44.5. No trends for me coming into this one. What do you guys see coming out of this one? Ace, why don't you get us started?
Yeah, I mean Lamar Jackson talking about MVP race there. He's back in it after last week. Him and Mark Andrews really annihilating the Detroit Lions last week. I was scared to buy in on that Ravens team. I have them on the card pretty often, but bought into that Lions hype a little bit. I definitely had the Ravens to win, had it off card, but didn't have enough confidence in it, and they just steamrolled last game. Playing at home, no bye week after London, just great to be home. I know Mackey had 2 units on those Lions, tough scene by them, but firing on all cylinders going into Arizona. I think they're going to continue to put up a lot of points. I know they still are trying to figure out their running back room, but I think no matter who it is playing with Lamar Jackson, they're going to get the job done. Zay Flowers bounced back in a big way. I think he almost hit the century mark in a game where they didn't even have to use him too much. So that defense looks stellar as well, led by Roquan Smith. So I think it's going to be a tough day for Josh Dobbs and co. Give me the Ravens with that big spread this week. That might be on my card.
Yeah, I just think this is a crazy spread for a team going on the road across the country. I'm probably not going to have a play on this one, but I mean the Ravens are the far superior team coming off a huge win. I don't know. They could be rolling a little too high coming into this game. Maybe fall flat on their face in the first half. I don't think they're going to pull a full Cowboys and lose this game, but we could see a slow start by the Ravens where they have to kind of dig themselves out of a hole. Lamar Jackson's playing some really good football right now. The whole team is just playing some really good football right now. Huge statement game last week. I obviously was on the wrong side of that. Read that completely wrong. Detroit defense. I mean, Ravens offense played well, but they just didn't. They didn't make a play the entire game. It was pretty. It was just pretty terrible to watch. But that Ravens team is good. Definitely one to be scared of.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is also a tough spot, but I definitely lean on the Ravens here to kind of squeak this one out at the end if it is a close one either way on the spread. I'd probably lean on the Ravens. I don't love the 8.5 number or 8, whatever it is, but like you said, Lamar Jackson's playing great football right now. I think this is a good spot for them to go in and pick up a nice road win against the Cardinals. Cardinals, like I said last week, they just kind of let the Seahawks get away with that one. They're starting to look like the team that we thought they were going to be coming into this season, and for that reason, I do lean on the Ravens here with the points.
And realistically, they probably should be 0-7. I mean, the win against the Cowboys should never let that happen. But I mean, got a win under their belt. They're definitely the worst team in the league, though, like we kind of saw coming into the season.
Alrighty, on to our final 4 o'clock matchup here. Kansas City Chiefs heading to Denver to visit the Denver Broncos. Chiefs are the favorite here, 7.5 points for them. Their money line -335. Broncos at +270 in the total, 46.5. Kansas City is 5-0 straight up in their last 5 games against Denver, and the total has gone over in 9 out of Denver's last 12 games. Do you like the Chiefs here? 7.5 points right over that 7 mark, total 46.5. Who wants to get us rolling on this final 4 o'clock matchup, week 8?
I don't know. The Broncos got something going here. I mean, nice win last week against a pretty bad Packers team. Probably should have lost it too, but Jordan Love couldn't figure out a fourth or a final 2-minute drive. Kansas City should definitely find a win here again. Another divisional game. They kind of own this division. I probably can't tell you the last time they lost to the Denver Broncos. But
Mahomes
yeah,
has never lost to the Denver Broncos.
there it is right there. Mahomes should definitely roll this game. Broncos defense is pretty horrid. We're going to see a huge Travis Kelce game. You're probably going to see Travis Kelce anytime on Ace's card, and it's probably going to hit. Um, but
Did you see
7.5 on the
Did you see
road.
how it hit last week?
Yeah, it was like a shuffle, right?
Yeah, but that was the
He was like the
weirdest
little
pass
forward
of all
pass, and they all
time.
just pushed him in.
Yeah, but we'll take it. I mean,
Dude,
I
he
was
finds a way. I mean, he finds a way.
I hit on that one, missed on the Kenneth Walker one. He got stopped on the goal line twice, but Travis Kelce gets pushed in for 3 yards. Can't make that shit up. But yeah, Mac, you can get back to your point here.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I think the Chiefs should cover this game. I wouldn't bet against them.
Yeah, they don't like to cover in tight matchups. Not even tight matchups, but when they play valid opponents. But I think the Broncos are playing way over their head, overachieving last week of the win. I think there's no way they can keep pace. Broncos put up sub 20 points, and then we know the Chiefs are putting up 28 plus. Look for Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes to continue eating as they hit 50 touchdowns as the duo, fourth most among tight ends and quarterbacks all time. So I expect them to keep climbing the ranks. Not catching Brady and Gronk nor Rivers and Gates, but I think they can come pretty close. I expect Mahomes to go over 303 again. Give me the Chiefs. Give me a team total. Give me the spread. Probably see this somehow on my card.
See, I kind of like I kind of like the Broncos to eke this thing and cover this spread. I know it's a 7.5 or an 8 point spread here, but I don't know, divisional matchup. They just saw this team 2 weeks ago before that Packers game and that Thursday night football game, and they were able to keep it close. And I think it was a 9.5 point spread. They lost by 10. I'm going to think at home that they can be able to cover this spread here. I don't love them to win the game, obviously, like I said. Mahomes never lost to the Broncos, but I'll take the Broncos with the points here on their home field.
Interesting stuff there, Huff. That's going to wrap up all the 4 o'clock matchups we have here this week in week 8. Time for some Sunday night football. The Bears and the Chargers in LA. SoFi Stadium. Chargers are the favorite here. 8.5 points for them. Minus 450 on the money line. Bears at plus 350. Total 46.5. The total has gone under in 4 out of the Chargers' last 5 games when playing Chicago. Like I said, that total 46.5. Ace, why don't you get us rolling here? Sunday night football.
Yeah, I mean, how much do the schedule makers really wish this one was Justin Fields versus Justin Herbert? I mean, this is going to be tough seeing. Hopefully, I mean, Donta Foreman, he's going to be running the ball. No, as they're missing their top running back, Khalil Herbert, in Chicago as well. I think there's no reason that the Chargers can't cover 8.5 here. Losing a tough game last week to the Kansas City Chiefs, whose defense is stepping up. Forgot to say that on the last game. But these Chargers, they'll look to get going. Josh Palmer, I know he's questionable this week. He'll get back in the mix. He went over 100. He'll have a good game again. Keenan Allen looks like a top 3 receiver in the league this year. And Austin Eckler, I expect him to keep getting better from that injury. Too many good defensive players on that side of the ball for them to continue to be playing as poorly as they are, especially with this matchup of these substitute players for the Chicago Bears. I like the Chargers here. Check back for my official card in these primetime games on our social media, but thinking that the Chargers in some way are going to be on my side.
Yeah, I mean this Chargers team sitting 2-4. You gotta win this game, and you gotta win it easy. They kind of got to prove something to themselves in this game. It's the game where they can really get back on track. I mean, this Chargers team, people were thinking they were going to win 11 games this year, at least be in the playoff mix. They're looking at a tough schedule ahead and sitting at 2-4 record in a tough division. I mean, this is a game where you really got to get back on track, get everything back together, get Justin Herbert's head right, Austin Eckler back in the end zone, Keenan Allen. This offense really has to do a lot of work, and this defense, that's where it really comes together. I mean, I think it's the worst rated defense this year in terms of like yards per game. Um, this is a game where they're playing a third string quarterback who got his first win last week. You got to assume he comes off of cloud 9 this week. They need to get back to playing pretty good football and just kind of shut this Bears offense down. This is a big game for the Chargers to just kind of get back on pace, I think. I don't know, Huff, what do you think?
Yeah, I was kind of looking at it the same way as that, but I kind of like this quarterback for Chicago. I was watching that Raiders game. Obviously, that was kind of a crapshoot of a game, 2 backup quarterbacks, but I don't know. I think he's provided a little bit of a spark to this team that it's kind of like when you put a backup goalie and just kind of gives you that spark to a hockey team. I feel like the Bears got a little bit of a spark last week, a big home win. their first home win in over a calendar year, I believe. And in this spot, they're getting 8.5, 9 points. I don't know. I kind of like the Bears to cover this number. I definitely don't like them to win the game. I think Herbert could win this game, but Brandon Staley will pull some fluke shit at the end. I just don't see him covering a 9-point spread in the prime time on Sunday Night Football. So I'm going to go with the Bears plus the points here.
It's crazy that the Chargers are -9 when one of these teams is 2-5, the other's 2-4. Just
Yeah.
kind of how Vegas looks at this Chargers team, but yeah, I mean they haven't really proved anything. So who's to say they're going to cover 9 points against any team?
Yeah, dude. I saw that interview after that Bears game with that Tyson Bagent, however you say his name, whatever his name is. I don't know. I kind of like him. Like I'm definitely rooting for that kid. I like the
Listen,
D2
1 and
story.
0, 1
Yeah,
and 0.
I
He has
like
the
it.
same amount of wins as Justin Fields does in his last 15 games.
He won a home game. So the
Yeah.
Bears fans automatically are like, "Fuck! Finally, we paid for tickets. We get to see a win."
Justin Fields might be shaking in his boots. He thinks he's losing that spot. Nah, Chicago loves him too much. Everyone loves him too much. But I mean, the guy
Just
doesn't
start
get the
winning.
job done. He doesn't win football games.
I was gonna say if this kid can start. I mean, they lose this game by a field goal, and it's like 24-23. You know what I mean, or something like that, like a last second.
If they win this football game, I genuinely think that Justin Fields' job may be in jeopardy this year.
It could be the situation that you said with the Giants, how Daniel Jones isn't playing, but the backups just has a spark and he's playing better.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Same exact thing. I don't think he wins this football game in any way. But if he does, I think that you gotta ask. You gotta at least ask the question.
I like the Bears with the points. Like I said, I don't love the money line, but I'm gonna go with the points.
Alrighty, boys. Sunday Night Football there. Chicago Bears heading to LA. Let's shoot our focus over to Monday Night Football. The Las Vegas Raiders heading to those Detroit Lions. The Lions are the massive favorite here, 8.5 points. I feel like I haven't said that in so long. Like, I don't know when the last time I saw a spread like this next to Lions' name. Lions -390, Raiders +310, total 45.5. Total's gone under in 4 out of Vegas's last 5 games. In Detroit, 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 at home. Ace, what are you thinking here? Monday Night Football.
I'll tell you what, I'm actually on the Lions for once this week. I think that they have a great game this week. Get back on track. They're going to score way too many points for the Raiders to keep up with. I know that they're dealing with some injuries still on both sides of the ball, but they have so many weapons, and I like the way Dan Campbell coaches. I think they can bounce back here at home in the prime time. Let's see some points by the Detroit Lions. I think you guys are probably going to err on the safe side.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the same side. I kind of like the under in this one, though. The Raiders have only scored over 20 points this season once, and it was because Mac Jones decided to get sacked in the end zone at the final 10 seconds of the game, put him at 21. But this offense definitely isn't getting much going, and I think the Lions are going to bounce out to an early lead and just kind of run the football the rest of the game, kind of secure a win. But this team definitely is in bounce back mode. I mean, a terrible game last week against the Ravens. I couldn't even tell you how many points the Lions scored because I turned it off. But Jared Goff has to get back to himself with Sam Laporta, Amon Ra. This offense definitely needs to get back on track. But 8.5 is a little high for a primetime football game. But I do think the Lions roll and this game does stay under.
Is there a chance Jimmy Garoppolo plays in this game?
No chance. He's
There's
out for
none.
this game.
He's
Yep.
out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like this game. I just this is like true Monday Night Football where it's so ugly and I like the favorite so much. I just want to take the underdog with the points. But I don't know. I don't have a pick on this game right now. Obviously the unknown with the Raiders quarterback position. Who's going? Hoyer again?
Hoyer. I genuinely think that the Raiders can score under 10 points this game.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
have faith in a bounce back from the Detroit Lions defense this week? They got slaughtered and ripped apart by the Ravens last week.
Yeah, at home, and I'm kind of more speaking to the Raiders offense than I am to the Lions defense. Like I said earlier, they don't put points on the board, and now you have a backup quarterback with no real chemistry with any of these players. You lost to the Bears last week in a blowout fashion. They don't really have much going. They're going on the road to a 5-2 football team. I can't see a situation where they can put up points. I can't see a situation where they get full drives and move the ball downfield first down after first down. If anything, it's just a massive player or Max Crosby strip sack, return for a touchdown. That if something
Max
like that
Crosby's a
happens,
dog.
then yeah.
No, I agree with you, Mackie. I'm right there with you.
Alrighty, boys. That's going to do it for us here in week 8 of the NFL. Lots to look forward to as we jump closer and closer to this slate with the game, obviously tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football, and the rest on Sunday and Monday. Don't forget about our live stream Sundays, 10 a.m. Eastern, for all our best bets on that Sunday. Let's keep our show moving here. The MLB, the 2023 World Series is officially set. The Rangers defeated the Houston Astros in Game 7 of the ALCS to advance to the World Series. Texas will take on Arizona as the Diamondbacks took down the Phillies in Game 7 of the NLCS. Curious to hear, who do you guys have coming home with the World Series this year? Diamondbacks or Rangers?
The road team in that Rangers-Astros series won every single game. After the Rangers blew that Game 5 in the top of the ninth inning, Altuve hit a 3-run shot. I kind of figured the series was over. Going back to Houston up 3-2. But that's a huge effort by that Rangers team. The bats turned on. We've seen what they've done when those bats get hot throughout the entire season. We saw it again. I think this team definitely rolls through the World Series. Diamondbacks keep surprising everyone too, though. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see this team come out and play some really good baseball.
Yeah, Mac, you're not wrong. The Diamondbacks way ahead of schedule. That young team performing oh so well in the playoffs all season long. I remember when we were so high on them at the beginning of the year. We all should have squad voted or bought in on the Diamondbacks, but I didn't do it. I went through my future slips. Was like, did I do it? Did I do it? No, I didn't. We just talked about it a lot and messed with them. What were you
What's
saying?
crazy is that Suzuki on the Cubs. When he
Yeah.
dropped that ball in the second or third to last game of the season, and the Braves ended up beating him. If he caught that baseball, Diamondbacks probably aren't even making the playoffs. Now
No,
they're
I saw
sitting here.
something that they're not. If that doesn't go in, they're not.
Well, yeah, but you can't just assume that they end up losing that game anyway. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you that's just insane that like things like that happen. Same thing with like the Penguins losing to the Blackhawks second to third or third to last game of the season, and the Panthers slide into that last playoff spot. Then you see them in the Stanley Cup. So it's kind of the
Yeah,
same
it
scenario.
happens all the time, yeah.
I think the Diamondbacks their run kind of falls short here.
Let me talk about these Texas Rangers real quick, though. I mean, they really paid off. They spent so much money and assets on this team the last 2 seasons. They brought in Seager, they brought in Evaldi, they brought in Scherzer, they brought in who's the other?
DeGrom, who hasn't
Yeah,
played.
Semyon as well, who's been insane. All this talent that they found and some rookies really stepping up. It's not surprising to see how good they are. Adolis Garcia really turning into a superstar. He was an afterthought prospect. So I do think that they should be able to win this one. They have all the star power. I like big game Nate. I like Scherzer. I like the veteran presence on that side of the ball. I always lean veteran presence, but this, like Mackie said, these Diamondbacks have been hot. They have some good pitching. They have no fans in the stadium, so we'll have to see. This series might be a little bit better than we expect.
They have no fans in the stadium. They better have fans in the stadium for the World Series.
Yeah. You'll see them all come out now.
It'll be a lot of people's bucket list to travel to Arizona, or not even Arizona Diamondbacks game, but a World Series game. Go see that one really cheap. They basically give the tickets away. I think they were doing that in the NLCS. But yeah, one other thing I'd like to say: watch these Rangers. They could end up. If you see them go up 2-0, they might be able to go for a sweep. Though they get really streaky, and when they're hot, they're one of the best teams in baseball. We see them put up crooked numbers all the time. So I kind of like some overs in these games. You'd think there'd be some low scoring games with some of the pitching talent on the mound, but both these teams have been putting up runs a lot in these playoffs. So it'll be a fun series to watch. A lot more runs and excitement than people think, given the two markets.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what you said there towards the end. I think if Texas gets a little streaky, I definitely think Arizona has a chance at this thing. I think they're just that Cinderella team that I would like to see them win this personally. Just kind of the smaller market, the team that I don't really have any affiliation with. I know they're in the NL, but I don't know. I'm definitely pulling for this Diamondbacks team to finish this thing off.
I think it would be pretty cool. I mean, this team's been counted out since first round.
Underdogs in every series.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah.
less aspirations and expectations. Like I said, though, with everything that Texas has brought in, their eyes have been set on a championship with this group. And I know that they haven't lived up to expectations the last 2 years, but really stepped into their own this year. I think they have to get this one done because I don't know if they'll get another chance.
Yeah, everyone's stepping up. I mean, this team's good.
Yeah.
When they're playing good, they're good.
Well, look at all the talent they brought in. A lot of outside talent that was all brought into the mix.
First game of the World Series series there on Friday. Going to be a good one as we jump more into that. More on that next week. Over to the NBA. The NBA season is officially underway starting on Tuesday. 2 games being played last night. Full slate of games going on today, Wednesday, and as well as the rest of the week. In night one, we saw Nikola Jokic pick up right where he left off, earning his first triple-double of the season, along with a victory over the LA Lakers. They're right back at it. What do you guys think about this NBA season coming up? I know we chatted about it a little last week.
The Jokic is fucking unreal. Obviously, picking up, like you said, right where he left off, the 29, 13, and 3, or 13 and 11 triple double on the first night of the season, banner night for the Nuggets, and then they just go out against the team that they swept in the Western Conference Finals, beat them 119 to 107. I didn't watch much of the game, but when I did, I mean, it was just what I expected. Jokic kind of having his way. Anthony Davis having a terrible second half, not scoring a point for this Lakers team. Obviously, a lot of question marks for this Lakers team, as there has been with them, or in a lot of these LeBron Laker teams to start years past. It looks like it's going to be the same way now. Definitely a bit of an overreaction in an 82-game season, losing your first one in Denver against the defending champions. But I'm on that. I know Mackie was on the Nuggets in this spot, so definitely a good hit there by him to get them with the spread. But Jokic is definitely any given night, this dude could go off for a triple double, and if you can get it at decent prices, this is something you might just have to take every night if there's good value on it.
Yeah, I'm excited for this NBA season to kick off. Been watching some games here tonight as we've been recording. We'll dive into this as the season progresses, but Celtics get off to a nice win, come from behind, winning most of the game. You'll be hearing that tomorrow, but a lot of other good talent starting off, so excited to see this along with the NHL rolling out. And we'll get our NBA and NHL power rankings rolling as well.
Ace, were you watching? Did you watch any of that Phoenix Golden State game either?
No, I didn't see that. I didn't watch that one too much.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. I just kept checking the score. That I played in a men's league game last night for the first time in fucking 7 months. So I wasn't watching many sports last night, and I knew the Nuggets covered before I went on, and then I wanted to watch that game, but obviously I decided to play in that, so I didn't get to watch any basketball last night.
Yeah, no, I was watching the Frozen Frenzy big time. That was
I didn't
one of
turn that
my.
on once. How was that?
It was pretty good. They did it literally like red zone. They were going in and out from power play to power play.
Was it like
They
confusing?
had Kevin Weeks and John Bucci Gross narrating it.
Alrighty, let's shift our focus out of the NBA here as that season has begun. College football in full swing. We got a couple games that we want to highlight coming into this weekend. First one here, I think we talked about this a few weeks ago, or keyed in on this a few weeks ago. Number 1 Georgia at Florida. Curious to hear what you guys see coming out of this matchup here. 2 more matchups that I want to talk about in the college football world. Mackie Ace, Mackie Huff, what are you guys thinking?
Yeah, I mean, Huff, you're definitely gonna have a lot to say about this one. Being a big Georgia fan, I think you've fallen off the wagon a tiny bit here with them, though. I think this is a very key game for those Bulldogs. Um, with that cakewalk of a schedule, this is definitely their hardest game of the season to date. Even though if Florida's not ranked, correct?
No.
They definitely defend the swamp like no other team does. We saw Tennessee go in there and get manhandled. Obviously, Georgia's a different beast, but I mean, if anyone's going to beat them this year, I think it could be this Florida team. I think they defend home court or home field very well, and this Georgia team, they get off to slow starts as we've seen. No Brock Bowers as well. They get into a little funk here in the first half. Definitely going to be a lot harder to crawl out of that one this week.
Yeah, especially with the 14 and the hook, the 14.5 point spread. That's definitely going to be hard to call. Like you said, no Bowers for Georgia on the road. This is definitely, I agree, their toughest game to date this season. It's really going to be a good test for, I always forget the quarterback's name. What's his name for Georgia? Carson
Well,
Beck. I don't know why I always forget his
oh,
name, but
I thought you were talking about the Georgia or the Florida quarterback.
oh, Mertz. No, yeah,
Graham
I think
Mertz,
this is going to be
yeah.
a big test for Carson Beck. Big SEC on the road matchup. Like you said, if they go down in this game, I don't like them to come back and cover this 14.5. But I don't know. This is one where I would tease a favorite and get them down a little bit, just because I don't love this Florida team personally, but I definitely do not think Georgia can cover this 14.5 point spread. At least I don't love it right now. Maybe closer to Saturday, I could lean more one side than the other on the original spread, but I don't know. I'd like to get Georgia at like a 6.5 and just kind of hope they can win this game by a touchdown.
This is gonna be a really good game, though.
Yeah, this is
I'm
definitely
excited to.
one of the best games of the weekend.
I mean, if Georgia can steamroll them, though, I mean, we definitely underestimated them. We saw it last year when they played Tennessee. I was high on Tennessee. I think it was a 1-3 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yep.
And Georgia just manhandled Tennessee. I think it was in Tennessee as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they can do that again this year, they're just going to prove that all this shit talk about them is just white noise.
Let's keep it going here. Another one. Number 8, Oregon at number 13, Utah. In Utah, what are you guys thinking here in this matchup?
This is one I've been taking this Utah team the past couple of weeks. I might have to take them again here with the points. I'd like to get 7, like I did last week against USC. I'm big on this Utah team, especially on their home field here. I know Oregon's a great team this year, and they're a tough team to bet against. But I'd love this Utah team in the Pac-12. I'm probably going to go with Utah plus 7.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you here, Huff. I mean, this Utah team plays very good football on their home field, and home field matters the most in college sports. So we should see a very good game here. It's just I don't know, that home field is definitely huge here. I think the underdog, being at home, such a high spread as well. Utah likes to play low scoring games, but we know how that Oregon offense likes to sling the football. Should be a
Yeah,
very good game though. I don't know. I do think Oregon comes out on top in this game though.
yeah. I just think
I
it's a
just
little
think
bit too many
it's
points.
too many points. It's too many points.
If this was like 5.5, this would be a hard spread.
Yeah, Utah likes to play tight football games.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's wrap up this college football chat. Number 20, Duke at number 18, Louisville in Louisville. What are we thinking here coming into Saturday?
Mac, you want to take this one? Go ahead.
Duke, Louisville. Yeah, Duke had a tough loss last week. They were looking really good against Florida State for a while there. Florida State ended up covering a high 14-point spread late in the fourth quarter. This Louisville team's been playing really good football. They're at home, but I don't know. I do like this Duke team. I don't watch enough of this Louisville team to really know much about them. I've watched this Duke team a few times. They've been playing in some nice primetime Monday night game against Clemson, and then last week against Florida State. But I like this Duke team. I like their defense. I think if they're going to win this game, it's going to be more of a low scoring game. But it's going to be tough going into Louisville.
Yeah, I don't really necessarily love a play either way in this one. I kind of did lean on Louisville just because of the home field in this spot. Try to get it a little lower if the line does move any bit, but 4.5, I don't like that. I'm not huge on this Duke quarterback, that Riley Leonard. I'm personally not too big on him. I think their defense is what kind of has them in this national ranking spot in the top 25, and it's definitely no joke. But an ACC matchup Saturday afternoon, I think that's going to be another good game, but kind of gets buried by that elite Pac-12 matchup and also that great SEC matchup that we just talked about. But I don't know. I'd probably lean on Louisville here with the points. I don't love it. That's definitely my least favorite pick of the 3. If I had to rank them, I'd probably go Utah plus 7. I like the most. And then, like I said, I didn't really love anything in that Georgia-Florida game, but I'd probably try to get them a little bit lower. I don't know. Maybe tease all 3 and see what kind of points he throws at you. But 2 favorites, I don't really love that. But definitely love that Utah plus 7. I think you could probably see that on our card come Saturday.
If Duke wants a chance at that ACC title game, they also have to win this football game after
Yeah,
dropping a tough
true,
one to Florida State.
true.
Louisville coming off a tough loss to Pitt as well, so they also need this one to stay up there as well. A lot on the line early in the season here, so should be a good ACC matchup.
Alrighty, boys. I think that's all we got here. Week 8 of the NFL. Lots to look forward to for the World Series, the NBA season starting, college football in full swing, NHL in full swing. But that's all I got here this week. Anything else to add before we get on out of here?
No, I think that's going to do it for us. Like we said, make sure you're following us. Like you said, World Series start. We're going to get the MLB card rolling for the last couple of weeks of the season. We've been on fire in the MLB playoffs, so definitely want to catch or ride that fire while we're doing it. I don't know the exact record off the top of our head. I know we were 6-2 or 6-3, somewhere sitting around there. We started off pretty hot in the MLB playoffs, so looking to close out the season pretty strong in the MLB. As we said, the NBA is underway, so looking to get the NBA card rolling. I know we were all in pretty much agreement and kind of sitting back the first couple of nights. We want to see how these teams work out. I know we did that in the NHL, but NHL card, trying to keep that rolling. We had a tough start in that, but 4 former hockey players, we like to think we know what we're talking about in the NHL and the success that we've had in the past couple of seasons there. So
We'll
definitely
get
stick
it
with us
back.
in all the
We'll get
cards.
it
Yeah,
back.
exactly. So just stick with us. Don't, you know what I mean? The early season kind of woes are always there with with some of these teams while we learn how everyone looks, but make sure you're following on social media, like, follow, share, subscribe, the whole 9 yards like that. We appreciate it. But Other than that, like Jesse said, make sure you're tuning into the live stream on Sunday. And other than that, we'll see you guys next week.